put that on unless I was dying.
Well, I mean, you know, Maxim Shmyrev's been on the scene for many years, and we know how demanding and how grueling this tournament is. He's going to have to play a lot of very high-energy games if he's going to win it again.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think, you know, what's difficult for him is that the younger players are innovating and changing it, so he's sometimes thinking, sugar, I need to try and improve more, but sometimes his body may not allow him, just his name. So I think he'll be here for a lot longer, but it's just for him is that can you peak on the right day? He's a bit like our Federer. You know, and that's exactly what I would call him.
Has his time passed in terms of actually winning the tournament, or do you think he can do it again?
I think it's passed. I think the other players, like what we just saw, he's playing closer to table tennis, flicking it, you know, aggressively, not just stuff that's on the table, running around. So I think it's difficult for him, but he'll always be that contender. He's there. He makes the tournament great. But you know, against some of the older players that have been there, maybe he could scale him a little bit just because he's quite legendary.
Just like Roger Federer, if he was to win it again, he would be a very popular winner with the fans. Let's head over again to Colin and Tony for this next match to see if Magic Maxim can make it through.
Well, he would be a very popular winner if he did win it again. I think it's long odds. Tony, we were talking about Maxim, absolutely wonderful player, but every year that goes by, the whole level of the tournament, the players in general gets higher and higher. So even though Maxim can improve, all the other players are improving fast, and many of them younger than Maxim is. So every year that goes by, Maxim 1 year older, and some of the others are still up and coming. So it's a hard battle now for Maxim to stay in the top group of the world, but certainly he's going to go down in history as one of the legends of sandpaper ping pong, and there isn't any one match that you could say he can't win. So let's see how he gets on, not only in this match, but if he wins it in the whole competition. And he's playing the left-hander from France, Chris Raynal. His twin brother played in earlier years. In the last 3 years, Chris has been here to compete in this competition. Backhands away from the table, but just holding a lead at the moment. Just backhand chop. Nice strokes, but not ultimately able to get back into the rally from that position. For the older table tennis fans amongst you, Chris Raynal's favourite ever table tennis player is a Frenchman. Who would that be? But Jacques Secretin. And then he said, well, but also Desmond Douglas. So a number of you will remember the great days of Jacques Secretin and Desmond Douglas playing table tennis together. Chris remembers those days with great fondness. They'll have taught him a lot.
6-7.
Nothing in this game at the moment. Oh, do you see how long that ball stayed along the net, rolled along? Which side is it going to bounce on? In the end, I think, did it go off the side? All the way along. That's amazing.
That's a bit unlucky, that, isn't it?
Yeah, almost looked magnetic. So 7-all, nothing in it. That's a fast serve across court. Very sharp. Is that Dmitry Bobrov that's preparing to coach Maxim in between games?
9-7.
So now we're seeing Maxim the way we used to seeing him play, getting forehands in, powerful forehands in, all over the table.
Good control from Christophe, but Maxim consistent to the end.
7.
And here we had the stroke earlier onto the top of the net. It nearly went over, then nearly bounced back on his own side, then wouldn't go anywhere until it was just off the side of the table.
7-11.
For your information, it's 15.25 centimetres high, or in old money, 6 inches. That's a lovely forehand down the line, and a left-handed forehand chop from Christophe. Well, he was doing so well at the start. Maxim now looking in control.
Yeah, Maxim got more positive as this game's gone on, getting more and more big forehands in, and pulled away in this first end.
I'm really liking Maxim's forehand drive from his forehand side down the line. He was clearly the best in the world at that a few years ago, and still pretty good at it now. Backhand across court, drop shot, bounces twice, gives Chris Raynal no chance. Look at the combination here, power and then touch. That's very, very difficult to do. Well done, Maxim. Game points. No double point balls yet. Again, backhand across court. Playing it beautifully. So a tricky start there for Maxim, but as so often in the past, he goes behind at the start of the game, sorts himself out, sorts out what the opponent's doing, and then comes back strongly.
Yeah, this is good backhand, this, Colin.
Yeah, this is the game point. Look how wide that backhand was. Chris had nowhere to go. Enough. Puts the bat down. You try that bat, mate. I'll try the other one next time. See if you can do with it what I did. So they share the bats. The bat stays at the same end of the table the whole time. Oh, and Chris has got some big support there, though. He's getting all the advice. 12-6 in the third game. Martin Grunewald, the favourite certainly for that game, under pressure. He's got to win, what, 9 points against 2 to win that game now. Meanwhile, Christophe is coming with a very, very aggressive start to the second game. Ale, 2-love up. Left-hander.
1-2.
Very expressive player.
3-1.
Wow, he's really geeing himself up, Tony. Backhand down the line. He's playing like Grunewald on a good day. Left-hander, fast backhand down the line.
Yeah, it's come out very positively, hasn't it, at the beginning of the second? Definitely trying to hit the ball hard into Maxim's backhand.
1-5.
So far with some success. That's a match point, Sorensen, Colin.
Yeah, so as we look at table number 2 again, there's 2 tables going on at any one time. Match point to Sorensen of Denmark. This will be a big turn-up. Again, Grunewald's gone in the net with his backhand. That'll be disappointment for Martin Grunewald of the Netherlands. An absolute delight for Benjamin Sorensen of Denmark. Through with a guaranteed $2,000. And there's the $2,000 smile and a place in tomorrow's last 16. Well played, Benjamin. What a great result that is for him. Dutch fans, consolation clapping.
7-2.
Whilst we were away, Raynal's built up a little lead here, 7-2.
Yeah, he's maintaining that good little start. Away from the table again, but comes back in, and that's a beautiful shot. Forehand down the line. Waits for Maxim to run around to get his forehand in from the backhand side. Doesn't play it to the backhand side, but plays it wide to the forehand. So these players, their eyes are physically looking at the ball often, but their focus is on their peripheral vision, which is the opponent, their balance, their movement and their position.
I think
Any
Maxim's
weakness?
suggesting here, Colin, that the net was a little loose, so he's tightening it up. He did ask the umpire's permission.
Indeed. So we might see the ball ping off the net again now. So if the ball hits the top of the net, it might jump a little bit because it's been tightened.
9.
A little error there from Maxim, not trying to go too fast, just trying to place it long to the backhand corner. Not quite getting it right, shaking his head. Trying to reorientate himself. Clearly just lost his mental focus for a minute. And it can be very, very expensive. You lose your mental focus for 1 minute, you might lose half a dozen points, and then it's likely game over. Dmitry Bobrov behind, coaching Maxim, looking a bit perturbed.
Three, 12.
So, 1 point again for Maxim. Can he start to pull this back? Maybe.
4.
Chris Raynal now stopping the game, interrupt Maxim's flow. And there's a lot of times now that Maxim is running around the forehand to get his backhand in and playing long into Chris's backhand corner. There he goes again, but Chris was up for that one. And what a powerful forehand from a compact stroke.
5-13.
Really does remind me of Martin Grunewald there. Oh, did you see that? He changed to right-handed.
13.
Yeah, swapped hands, didn't he, to reach that one? Give him a bit more reach.
See this one, swap hands. He knows he can't reach it with his left hand. It would be legal. That would count. Has been done
Next
before.
serve.
And Chris being very, very smart there, playing the ball into the crossover of Maxim. As Maxim was preparing for a backhand. Went right between backhand and forehand and gives Chris Raynal game point. That's a beautiful shot, forehand, backhand and forehand. Good control when Maxim got back into the rally. So good backhand, very, very sharp forehand, control, and then that was enough to take the game. Is that 15-6, so 1 game all. Chris is delighted, game. So neither game close, but now race to 15 points.
Yeah, it was a huge turnaround, wasn't it, from the first end, where Maxim was seemingly able to dominate with his forehand. In the second end, Raynal early in the point seemed to put the backhand of Maxim under pressure. So I think Maxim needs to somehow take the initiative early in the rally, either with better serves or a sharper return, but something to take the initiative early.
Yeah, like that one, but just overhit slightly. And I think, Tony, what you mean is the first or second balls in that rally he's got to pounce on straight away. And Maxim's good at this. Consistent forehands when he's given time and space to play it. Yeah, I wouldn't expect Chris to be able to get back into that rally. So 3-1 to Maxim. Is it Maxim's serve? 2 serves to come. He can get both of these. Has he got a double point ball to play? Has he used it? Here goes. Oh, Chris did the right thing. Backhand across court. Just couldn't get it over the net. It's going into a good angle, mind. Good point to Maxim. Chris running around, getting his forehand in from the backhand corner. Nice sharp, compact forehand attack. A lot of English voices shouting for Chris Raynal.
Next serve.
And then we know Maxim's one of the most popular players on the circuit. A lot of people will be willing him on, want to see him play in the last 16 at least.
2-5.
I thought that was a let serve. I think Chris thought it was a let serve, and I thought it was a let serve, but the umpire didn't see it. I don't think Maxim saw it. And I could be wrong.
Next serve. Next serve.
The next 2.
Yeah. Can't get off the net now. What a great fast serve. Didn't quite get around.
So at the change around, Colin, Maxim back in control. So after that huge blip in the second end, of only getting 6 points, he's reached 7 just for the loss of 2 this time. So Shmyrev managed to change this right around again.
He has. So a lead of 5 points. I think done very well to keep the error rate down. He's looking smooth again.
Yeah, he did well there. He managed to keep that serve much lower. Maxim sometimes, I feel, makes his serves quite bouncy, and Raynal was attacking those very well, but that was much lower from Maxim.
Yeah, we know that Max sometimes does that on purpose to get the ball up on the return, so
2-9.
just thinking about the combinations of serves that he's putting in. Maxim did really well to get that off the net. Well picked up. That was off the edge.
10-2.
Well, what a turnaround again. Maxim stretching a huge lead, 10-2 in the final game. He's only got 15 to get to, 5 more points to gain. Fast serve to the forehand, Chris is all over it. And Max can't get that one.
10.
Good dive. And this one hits the net.
In case you didn't know, if Maxim had let go of that bat but had hit the ball back, it wouldn't have counted. He must be in control of the bat at the time.
Indeed.
So double point ball, Shmyrev.
Maxim in for the kill, 10-3, double point ball, 12-3 if he wins, 4-10 if he doesn't. Here we go, 10-3. Fast serve to the backhand, beautiful forehand across court and then wide into the backhand. Yeah, Chris struggling from back there. Well done, Maxim. Very, very good this third game. Just that stroke production and the accuracy, the decision making, it's all come back together for Maxim. This is the world-class Maxim we've seen before. Not a lot that Chris can do about it.
Double point ball.
Other than maybe go for the double point ball himself and try and claw something back. But why leave it this long, Tony?
Yeah, I think he did leave it a bit too long, but there we are. He'll still feel as though he's got a chance if he takes this, but no, Maxim just extends that lead.
So they're going to stop Christophe. We've got to change back to the orange ball. 2 points from victory, Maxim Shmyrev. And if I've got this right, it means that Maxim, if he wins, will play Benjamin Sorensen from Denmark in the next round.
14-3.
With no disrespect to Benjamin, Maxim will be pleased with that compared to some of the names that he could face. But if Benjamin can beat Martin Grunewald that easy in the third, who knows what he can do against Maxim, but we're going to find out because Maxim has indeed converted that. 15-3 in the final game. Too good, I think, Christophe says, in the end. But lovely match to see. Great stuff from Chris Raynal. Certainly, Maxim got his game back together again. Here's the final point. Chris looks whacked out. He's done everything he can. But 15-3. Beautiful there. So well done, Maxim. Off to play Benjamin Sorensen tomorrow afternoon.